Okay, you guys ready? Don't forget this. Every good deed leads to another. This is what PK believe in. This out of the box is part of the out of the box lifestyle. It's great when you help people. I wish my father to help me. It's the main reason I'm doing this channel. I'm 62. Remember, I'm here in Sofia, Bulgaria with my wife. We're here on vacation during the COVID whole situation. We got here because I have a Bulgarian wife. I did live here in Bulgaria for 12 years. We came last year. Anyway, the weather's horrible, and we're stuck inside. It's Friday, and I wanted to tell you that it just hit me very strongly. You know, I guess when you're sitting inside all day, you think of all these things. It's where I come up with all these crazy ideas. But listen, the name of the show today is, I have my notes, I call it the how-to guide in order to squeeze that silver. Look, you guys, what's it going to take to really squeeze that silver? I know the other arguments. Look, I'm going to tell you one thing. First of all, it's already been done twice in our history. And I call it a real squeeze, a real panic buying. First time it happened, remember, I started, and that's how old I am. Don't forget, I'm an old goat. This I know, you don't have to remind me. I started in gold and silver in 1982. I worked for a guy, and I was about 22 years old, but I did see the Hunt brothers run up in that hole. If you know the history, I'm sure all of you do, who are the silver stackers and silver investors. That Hunt brothers, they try to corner the market. This is what they did. It's not because they thought of the other things, because I was right there. I saw the news every day. I had a friend of mine in the high school, worked at a very big coin dealer. He really told me the inside story. They just try to keep bought more and more futures contracts, and kept driving the price up, keep taking delivered. This is what the whole thing was about, really squeezing the whole price to $50. The whole thing crashed as soon as the CME got wind of what was going on. The COMEX, they raised the margin. Of course, they didn't have the money because they kept pyramiding on these 5,000 ounce contracts, and then the whole thing collapsed, as you know. So one, it was done in the late 70s by the Hunt brothers, and two, we know it was, in my eyes, this was done just last year, recently, 4 months ago, 3 months ago, with this Wall Street Bets group. Because I can tell you, anybody that can move the market $3 overnight, they got some real power here. In fact, I just did a video about trading. I'm going to be switching over to stocks, just doing these Wall Street Bet stocks, and I'm so low tech. Look at these videos. I don't need to know anything more. I'm a short term. I'm a swing trader, but I think gold and silver is going up. But I had to tell you this about this guide about how they're going to how they can still squeeze the silver, because of course, I am talking about outside of the financial meltdown that the majority of you believe are going to happen this year, next year, in the short run. Outside of that happening, okay, remember, there's always some chance your timing can be wrong. This is the issue I have. Look, you guys might be right. This whole thing might collapse in this year or next year. Well, I'll be wiped out because all my money, a house and a brokerage company, but irrelevant. I want to try to tell you they can. This squeeze can still happen right now, and believe me, it's not from the Wall Street. What is it called? The Wall Street Silver. They have some group now, some offshoot. They only got 80, 90,000 members. This ain't gonna cut it, you guys. The Wall Street Bets. I can tell you one thing. It's really simple. I don't even need my notes. Is so simple. All they got to do, listen, if they really want to squeeze that silver, you see, they've already proven they can do it. They did it with GameStop. But let's talk about the silver, because that's what we're talking about. They ran that silver up, got it. In that time, I think they had 3 million, 4 million, subscribers. They got 10 million now. But the difference is, remember, they ran this thing up $3, but then they all sell it and take the money. I mean, because to make $3, this is huge. If you did one futures contract, it's $15,000. I'm not saying they did a future. I'm sure some of the big people did. Where they bought the SLV, on the ETF. I'm just telling you. But what I want to say is, the how-to guide. How would PK want to organize a squeeze in the silver? Again, outside of a financial disaster. And believe me, this Wall Street bets, they can do it right now. All they got to do is not sell. When they get everyone to buy, now they got maybe double, if not triple the buying. Everyone out there buying, but then they'll sell it. And then what will happen is it'll go up again $3, $4, $5, and then it won't go back down quickly like last time. This was the whole thing. But remember, this is what you need the people who are behind that group and the followers. Maybe they're not, they're all maybe trying to make short-term money. They don't have the same objective as you guys. They're more like me. They're short-term oriented, whether it's GameStop and all these stocks I'm going to be doing. I just did a video yesterday that I'm just switching over to the stocks. But I want to tell you the how-to guide, how PK would do it. If instead of this, look, now you could say, okay, PK, what about that Wall Street Silver Group? They got 80,000 people, or 90,000. I'm telling you, it's not enough. You really need millions. You need a lot of people all buying at the same time, number one, and number two, they can't sell it. The temptation to make that money so quickly, because believe me, to make $2, $3 in 24 hours, this is very big money. Remember, they did options on the silver if they didn't do a futures contract. So, you guys, I know most of you are looking for this long-term play. How are they going to drive that silver back to 50 or even 60, 100? What's really going to make it squeeze? Of course, remember, outside of a financial meltdown, which I know is your primary argument. But I want to tell you that one thing I'd like to mention, one of the arguments you guys make on the silver stackers and people, you believe this thing about everything crashing this year. Yes, this is possible. In fact, I don't believe it. Who cares what PK thinks? I'm a nobody, but been 35 years in the business and professional trader. My whole life's trading. But still, I can be wrong. I've been wrong before. But I will tell you this: I hear this argument on quite a few of the. There's a million sites where they talk about the collapse of the dollar, the fiat dollar, everything's going to go down to nothing. They have very similar thinking, that's fine. But they also make the argument, which I'm telling you is not true. This is not true. They make the argument that the price, gold and silver, especially silver, is being artificially held down. Well, if that was true, then that Reddit group could never move it $3 up. Impossible. And this negates that argument. I am telling you, this is a marketing argument. You guys can argue me all you want. Write me, tell me I'm crazy. You won't be the first one who told me that PK is crazy. But believe me, I'm a survivor. I've been a professional trader most of my life. I made money. Of course, I have losing years. No one's, it's not so easy. It's a full-time job. Of course, now the technology, I'm here in Bulgaria, I can trade on the computer. But I want to tell you that this argument that they're artificially holding the price down, this would be true. That means nobody could move it up $3, but it was done. So anybody who makes an argument is, look, I dream one day to have enough clout. The problem is, I don't sell anything. And number two, you can say, I've had people say, PK, you're doing this to get subscribers. Believe me, it'll take me 10 years. I've mentioned this before, and I'll say again and again and again. It'll take me 10 years to get enough subscribers to make $2,000-3,000 a month. But the problem is I'll be 72. I'll be an old Florida mom. I'll be a Florida mommy, which is my biggest nightmare, as you know. So Me, the life is now, and this is why I come here. Nothing stops us. Pandemic, this, that, mask, whatever it takes, we made it here. We don't stop the life. And you have the money, and you're at my age, and listen, when you're your age, 30, 40, 25, you got your whole life in front of you. So it's a little different thinking. But for me, if I were you, that argument doesn't hold up. Really doesn't hold up. I've heard it over and over again, and I was saying I'd love to have the clout to debate one of these big people. One day I see that, because there are a million different sites all over this YouTube, and I see, and the thing about it, they have a lot of followers, but they don't touch that Wall Street Bets group. This is the group. So you could say, well, maybe this Wall Street Silver group will be big one day. Well, maybe they will be, but they're very far away. They don't have the power to squeeze that silver market. It's way too big to do it. And they don't have the money. Maybe one day. So anyway, that's all I really wanted to tell you. You can think about that. Again, they could squeeze it next week on that silver like they did a few months ago if they don't sell it. That's the whole issue. Because imagine they all buy this time, except this time the groups maybe triple, 3 times the size, and the price explodes. But they don't sell. They're going to keep it because they're going to try to squeeze that silver to 50, 60, 70 and really get the people who are short. Like you said, maybe all these banks are short. I don't know. We don't know who's short out there. There could be a lot. They could really squeeze that silver. We know anytime you see a sharp move up, look what happened in lumber. Or look what happened in copper, or some of the or soybeans, or any of these markets, or even the GameStop, and even these stocks are doing now. They're trying to get these people to cover all these hedge funds. But remember, you need a lot of people buying all at the same time, and this is the clue. And if you really want to squeeze that silver, they can't sell it. They got to keep it and then continue buying. They kind of have to do. I'll conclude with this. PK will end this episode with, they're going to do what the Hunt Brothers did. Hunt Brothers didn't sell anything. As the price kept rising, they used the profits in their account to buy more and more and more. Look what happened. They drove that silver from, I think, $5 to $50. And they could have driven it to $100 if the CME didn't step in. But here, when you got 10, this Reddit group is so powerful. Look, you guys I think I've made my point. So anyway, you can think about that over the weekend. But listen, I would get somebody there to really explain to them, if they really want to squeeze that silver, all they're going to do is follow what the Hunt Brothers did, is continue buying, don't sell it. Anyway, it's cold here in Bulgaria. I'm not coming out. I miss Florida. I'm going to come back June 30th, stuck inside, going crazy. Thank God I can make some trades here in the European market. Look, the last thing I'll tell you, that gold and silver, hey, it's hanging in up there pretty good. I think it's going higher. I'm not in. Still waiting for the right pullback, the right place. But remember, I'm 1 to 4 days. But I think the silver and gold are going to go higher. Just not quite as high as you guys think. Anyways, this is PK. I've gone long enough, as usual, out of my mind. Too crazy, babbling on, rambling on, but that's who I am. So, wish everyone a nice weekend. This is PK. Always feel free to write me. I got a lot of people write me on the Facebook. Nobody wants to write me on the out of the box. Fine, no problem. They want to keep it private. I'll write you back. You guys have any comments or questions or think I'm out of my mind, or even give me some advice. I'm open for anything. Look, bottom line, I'm here to make money. Different than you. And this is why I'm doing this, giving you some tips, something you can at least think about. Consider it. This PK with Out of the Box. Wish everyone a great weekend. Ciao. Talk to you on the week. Or maybe next week. Ciao, everybody.